I'm Lynn.
I'm Arnie.
And here's what's happening at Ewetopia Farms today.
Join us. It's a fantastic day with the woman I love.
Yes, it's another machinery corn day, not a sheep day. Sheep cannot tolerate mold. 10 in the morning, and we're loading corn.
Is that despite the fact they're on pasture, they've not been dewormed once this year. Let's get started.
Hi, pussycats. Good morning, you guys. No, get down, sweetheart. You're going to spill it. Is that your favorite part of the day? Oh my goodness. There you go, you guys. Pippi and Mike. Okay, this mother cat, the one that greets me nowadays in the barn, we knew she had kittens in the dry bales of hay, but today's the day she brought the kittens into the barn. So, there's just two, luckily. Here's one. Hi. Hi, you a little scared? You look lovely though. You do.
This is where those two little kittens were born. You can see the little path. And they used to sleep in here, and behind these bales was their main little spot. We tried to keep away from it because we didn't want to attract coyotes or anything in here. But I see she figures they're old enough to come into the barn. So as I was walking around with the replacement ewe lambs, this is the group that have a lot of dirty bums right now, and we're waiting for a really hard frost before we deworm them all. And the reason we're waiting is because we know they have tapeworms, but they're all in great health. Nobody's having any ill effects yet from tapeworms. And if we look at the eyes on these girls,
Hi, can I see her?
I'm trying to pull her eyelid down, but of course it's really hard to do when you got a camera. But anyway,
Can we see her right there?
see how the pink eyelids are really pink? So the parasite that's most concerning is homunculus or barber pole worm. It's a really nasty killer, and you definitely will never hesitate if your sheep is looking a little anemic, so the eyelids become really white. These guys all have really good color in their eyes. Everyone I've checked, and I've been checking a few this morning while I went around. And I see a few little tiny segments of tapeworm in their manure, so we know we have tapeworm. So we know that when we do deworm them, we're going to use a white dewormer because that is the one that works best on tapeworm. And it will also cover any other parasites they have. But they're all looking healthy, so that's why we're not doing it. And these sheep have been locked in the barn for the past 2 days because we were doing the corn today, and yesterday we started. And all those dirty bums, it's kind of funny, but I've been looking at them because someone asked, why do all your sheep have dirty bums? None of the other sheep farmers have that. Well, that is kind of a silly thing to say because any sheep that are on pasture get dirty bums, and these sheep were on pasture. But what I was going to say is that despite the fact they're on pasture, they've not been dewormed once this year, and we're into November now. So the sheep are doing really, really well as far as parasites go. And the thing I was going to say is that, as you can see, there are a lot of clean bums in here right now. And even these dirty bums if you look carefully, they're dry. And that's just from being indoors for 2 days. So I'm thinking that when we switch them to that new pasture with the lots of grass, remember how I tell you grass at this time of year becomes really mucky? And when I say mucky, I mean it absorbs all the moisture and rain, and as it freezes and thaws and stuff, it becomes the consistency almost of cooked spinach. So that when the sheep are eating that, they're getting more fluid than normal in their diet, and they can often get diarrhea from that. So I'm thinking that for sure they have tapeworms, but tapeworms doesn't give you diarrhea. Some of the other worms do. But in the case of these girls, the diarrhea really coincided with the pasture, the new pasture with the mucky grass. So I'm going to attribute that to the reason they had the dirty bums, because like I said, I've gone around and everybody's dry and we haven't treated anyone. So that's really good. Like, I'm really happy about that. But we will be filming it when we deworm them, so you'll see it, and it will be a white dewormer, because the one thing we do know is that they have tapeworm. And we also know that our flock is not immune to, or our flock, the parasites that our flock will be picking up are not immune to the dewormers, because we did have a customer who bought one of these sheep, brought it home, tested for parasites, treated it with the white dewormer, and a month later was clear. So we know it works on them. That's always a bonus to know as well. So you don't have to send away samples and have it tested. We know that because someone did it for us.
Hi, you look really lovely. I can see that. Hi.
And if you look at her when I'm petting her, even without me pulling back her eyes, if you look in the corner of her eyes, you might be able to see that the pink of her eyes are quite evident. If you don't see pink, it's just a bright white eye. You don't want to see that. That means that some kind of parasite is sucking away their blood and making them anemic.
Hi, you guys are all so nice.
So I just wanted to mention that, because for one thing, I didn't think, this is the only barn that has mucky bums, and I'm thinking, considering they have never been dewormed, and I know a lot of pasture people are going to be deworming way more frequently than we are. Well, we haven't dewormed once. I'm thinking the sheep have done really, really well for parasites this year. Yeah, we're happy with you guys. But if you look at sheep on videos that are in confinement systems, you will rarely see dirty bums. And that's true, because they tend not to pick up any parasites if they're in a confinement feeding system, unless the barns and stuff and the feed is really dirty, which is usually not the case. So while we were feeding the sheep in Hilton's group, we found this ewe who has a cloudy eye on one side. So when you see a cloudy eye, you want to treat it immediately. And it usually clears up in 2 shots. So we put a little red dot on her as well as her green dot. Gave her some biomycin. If you leave it, it'll spread to the other eye, and it'll spread to the other sheep usually. And there's Hilton. He came to watch Arnie give the shot. So we know that we have to keep an eye on that guy.
Doesn't like to start. It's too cold. So we're gonna load the loader corn up at 10 o'clock. That's fresh corn already we're feeding. now I just gotta watch it that it doesn't start heating up. It feels fine, but I'll keep my eye on that. Today's Wednesday, so the hydro rates are always cheaper on the weekends. So what I'll probably do today's Wednesday, I'll try to hang out until Saturday morning, and then we'll run the air on her on the weekend for cheap hydro rates, and because that's forced air in that bed, like that's dry corn. 18% cannot be stored. It has to have ventilation. So we'll turn the air on her until it starts freezing, and then it'll actually just freeze right up. We'll feed it all winter, and by next spring it should be calmed down to the drying point where we don't have to use air anymore. So that's a little bit of an inconvenience. I have to look after that bin, but I'm here all the time anyhow. And it's just one more thing about farming which you have to have in your mindset all the time, that bed doesn't start to act up. So once it starts to brew, it doesn't take very long before it starts forming heat, and then starts to form a mold. And we do not want a mold on that grain for the sheep. Sheep cannot tolerate mold. Anyways, we're gonna get on with chores, because like I said, at 10 o'clock, we got a transport coming in to take out another 40 tons. 10 in the morning, and we're loading corn. And you can see the combine right there. It's already going too. So we're having a fine day today. And yes, it's another machinery corn day, not a sheep day. This wagon behind me right now is 15 tons, and we should get the truck full with this wagon. And that will be another 40 ton out on the third day of combining. See how that turns out. Almost 30 tons sitting there. And I wonder if that old John Deere can move her. We'll see. Yeah, that's an awful big wagon. I like the wagons because once you get them set up with the augers, you don't have to move wagons around. You can just unload grain for a long time. That's what a 15-ton wagon looks like. And you can see how high it is. I'm 6'2", 6'1", but you don't want to get these wagons stuck because they don't get out. And these wagons are smaller. I think these carry about 8 ton, 9 ton, 8 ton per load. So the ears are not really monster ears, but you can see the ears filled out right to the very ends. So I think when it does that, it means I think pretty sure that the ground is the right. It got enough fertilizer. If the ears go right to the end, and you can see all the ears, hard to point out, filled out right to the very end. So now this land hasn't seen corn for 10, 12 years. So here he comes. I want to see that combine full when he's here. I don't know if you can see him, how much dust is coming from that combine. I'm going to guess the grain's pretty dry. We tested it yesterday, it was 18% off the combine. So it shouldn't gain any more after that. He said some of the corn was cracking. Yeah, I see that much dust behind the combine. It's probably dry. I'm happy with that. It'd be less drying costs. I'm thinking that he can't make it to the end. He couldn't make it around the field with a load of corn in that combine. I think he's going to overflow it. See it bridging up there? Oh yeah, he's not going to be able to make it. I'm thinking he's going to have to stop. Maybe not sheep farming, but all the stuff that happens keeps the sheep farm alive. It's a complete circle. So whether we're haying, seeding down fields, planting beans, planting corn, harvesting crops, shearing sheep, having baby lambs, yeah, if you add all that up, it's all year round. Yeah, I'm thinking when I was a kid, I always had a sandbox. But I'm thinking I should ask for a corn box. Corn is such a nice crop. It's a high yielding crop. It grows in drought conditions. It does really good. Pretty hard to get a bad crop of corn. Anyways, it's got Philip the back wagons. And he's over there right now. I probably think he's only going to get half this field off if he's lucky.
Okay, the grain hauler is here again. We got a lot of wagons here. Cody's not here at the moment. He's combining, I guess, because I was supposed to ask him how many tons per acre we had on camera, because Arnie says you won't believe us. The field he's working in now is getting 7 tons an acre, and our average is just over 6 tons an acre. That's extremely good for us anyway. We usually get about 4.1, 4.2 tons. So I guess you would say that's a bumper crop. Gotta be really pleased about that. At least one thing's gone right. Got a double transit going here, taking it away. Cody's gone milking. I was doing Christmas calendars all afternoon, so missed the majority of it, but they're being printed now and being sent to me. So hopefully everybody who wanted one will get one, and we'll get that on the road, just like our corn is going on the road. But we're not finished. We've still got quite a few fields left to do.
Some corn is so light because you're paid by the tonnage, eh? So some of the corn is so light that trailer is level full, and the corn they took off of here is about 20 inches from the top in our trailer. So he tells me that that's really heavy corn, heavier than what he usually gets.
Yeah, but normally you would associate heavy with lots of moisture too, but
No.
moisture is telling,
It's 18% or even lower maybe.
and that's off the combine.
Yeah, that's where it is. 18.
So in the field it would be lower, right?
If you were testing the field with a little machine,
Yep.
it would be lower, but then it would go higher on the combine.
Right, so it was probably 15% in the field, and
Might have
it
been.
was 18% when it was taken off. And why does it gain moisture when you cut it off?
It's just something about the air in the combine, the blowing the air. It just adds some. I don't know why. It's always a little higher in the combine.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
So he doesn't know why. I don't know why that would be either, but apparently that is the case. You always add 3% to whatever it tests in the field, but 18% is really low, so it's not heavy because of moisture. It's heavy because I guess it looked like really nice corn.
It is. The test weight in this corn is extremely heavy. Really heavy. A good test weight. If you were to test it.
So here he comes. He's gonna park the wagons here for the night, just in case somebody gets any wild ideas of taking some wagons home. And believe it or not, it happens. More than you'd like to believe. Okay.
I thought we'd grind this up tonight to make some cornbread.
I can hardly wait for you to make me some cornbread, Arnie. That would be really nice.
Okay.
Can we film that?
I'm going to have to go on the internet to figure out how to do it.
Do you know how to get on the internet?
Well, is that hard?
Who's that for? For the birdies.
What?
You should put them in a bucket or something for the birds.
Always quite impressive how that turns out so yellow, eh?
Yeah, corn's a beautiful crop.
You see, they're not monster ears. But
No, they're really
but there's
small.
enough.
I thought the crop would be low because they're really small this year.
What a lot of people will do is,
But they're thicker.
what a lot of people do is you count all the rolls around the cob,
Yep.
and you'll find some cobs will give you 4 extra rolls on a cob. So if you go 4 times that will increase the yield.
Right.
So you see, I'm going to tell you that this cob here probably has 2 less rolls on it. You see, if you count the rolls. Maybe not, you have to count them, you see. So you think that doesn't mean a lot, but that means a lot. And then if the cob is all filled out to the end like that, that 1 extra inch in the end, if the corn was malnutritioned, is going to lose a 1/4 ton of nickel.
So what you're telling me is size does matter.
Always.
So on that note, we're going to call that a day, and we're going to be back at it. Corn is like, hey, it's just never ending. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Well, this is what happens when you leave the gate open. Come on, guys. Back in the pen. Come on. Come on, you're not going out the yard. Come on, guys. Come on. Hey. Come on, get in there. Get in there. And I'm pretty positive I didn't leave that gate open this morning. Oh well. Oh. There's Killer. Yeah, he's got a streamly attitude right now. Hey, Bob. Hurry, Bob. Oh. Hey. Hurry. Buddy, what are you doing? Oh, I know why he's all pumped up. Because that gate was open, so he would have been smelling the ewes over here. Calm down, buddy. Hey, calm down. Oh, he's pumped right now. Look at him. Yeah, he's mad now. Oh, he sees that ram there, see? I guess they're telling me I'm late. Hey, you guys. So that's how quiet it is now. All these guys are done. They're all fed. They only get a little bit of corn, just to keep their appetites and to keep their weight on. There's Mr. Boss Man, looking pretty sharp. Didn't lose a drop of weight. I really like that a lot, because most time when they lose weight, you know they're a hard keeper. But he looks good yet. Anyways, that's it. I'm tired. We didn't do a lot of work today. Only got one truckload of corn out. It was really a poor day, but I'm happy with that. These guys are all fed. So yeah, my argument always is with the feed is my test weight's really good on the corn, like really good test weight. I don't know what it is, but you'd have to weigh it. But the tonnage per acre is mind-boggling. Great crop for planted on the first week in May almost. Extremely shocked at how that good that's coming out, and I think All the cats that are getting fed here. And there's our two new little members of the family. The mother just brought them in the other day. They were in with the round bales, and she brought them in the barn. They look a little nervous, but they'll be looked after here anyhow. Anyways, that's it for tonight. I'm going to shut it down.